welcome you live from Texas Motor Speedway tonight for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series Season number 4 Championship Cutoff race in Texas. And we're live here from Fort Worth, Texas tonight from the Texas Motor Speedway, the first ever time the Xfinity Series is visiting here in Texas. And it comes in the penultimate race of the season, the final race before the championship tonight. Cars are on the racetrack here at this Texas Motor Speedway as we are underway for the warm-up session. Sorry, a little bit late. iRacing was having usual issues, so was my PC. Nothing new there. As there's the 13, that is Elliott Porter. He is just went through the grass, making one of the select starts for Ethan Trendler Racing. This is 66, that's Christopher Lull. So, of course, we got a crash from the back straightaway. Big wreck. Oh, my God, knocks Thompson. And the 08 goes around. So, oh, man, he gets slammed by Cole Wilson. Upside down goes the 08. So, of course, one race remains before the championship. We'll officially decide your championship for tonight in Texas. Now, 15 minutes to go in this warm-up session. Real quick, let's start out by looking at your playoff standings entering tonight. So, of course, Richard Cherry, Justin Rott won at Talladega. Richard Cherry locks himself in just on points. Those are your top two drivers locked in. Alexander Ortega plus 27 in the good of the Cutling can lock himself in pretty easily in the stage if he gets decent stage points. Then Cole Wilson plus 12 over Michael Gregory. So Gregory did a good job at Dover to close that up. He probably would have been even closer if it didn't have that lap 1 near flip at Talladega. Or not lap 1, but early in the race near flip at Talladega. Then you got CJ Urban minus 20. He's got to have a really good day if he wants to have any chance tonight. But so main battle going to be mostly between Cole Wilson and Michael Gregory for that final spot inside the championship 4. Michael Gregory has been very, very good as of late. Race car is going to pull back on the racetrack here at Texas Motor Speedway. There's the 4. That's Christian Herklotz making his way through 3 and 4. So it's, of course, been a really busy week of news all around the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League, especially the Xfinity Series. Of course, it was announced last Saturday, a huge announcement of a new name change for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series. It's been known as the Xfinity Series now for 4 seasons. In Season 5, it will be known as the NASCAR iRacing Grand National Series. So a name change coming here for the Xfinity Series that we know. It'll still be the same cars, but there's going to be an entirely new points format coming that'll actually be announced this coming weekend. So a lot of more exciting announcements to come here in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series. Next season, of course, the Grand National Series. Got 2 more races of Xfinity, and we're going to decide a champion next week at Homestead Miami Speedway with those championship 4 drivers. Of course, in the championship 4, it's whoever finishes highest out of those 4 drivers is your champion. Points don't matter at that point. Here's CJ Urban, of course, like I said, enters tonight minus 20 to the good on the cut line. There is Cole Wilson, plus 12 on the cut line tonight. Needs a good day, though, to keep that above. Can't let Michael Gregory have a really good outing. Let's see what the driver of the 5 can do tonight. Cole Wilson is currently 7th on the board. Here's Richard Cherry making his way to turns 3 and 4 in that 29. Sorry about the iRacing lag. I don't know why it's doing that, but through 1 and 2 they will go. There's 12. And that's Max DiFilippi up the racetrack a little bit. He heads down the back straightaway in that 12th car. In his second race for Chandler Wilson Racing, actually in Dover last week, of course, he ended up going upside down in that race. What an insane crash he had in his first race for CWR. Of course, full-time the rest of this season with CWR, and then, of course, next season the Xfinity Series as well. Other news, Ron Suarez has been re-signed next season to, of course, the Grand National Series. He'll be in his second season here. Other re-signings include, of course, not a re-signing, but being announced was Zane Rahman will be continuing to operate Screaming Luigi Racing in the number 6 car. He'll actually be driving the 17 tonight. It is actually his 17th birthday, so we say happy birthday to Zane tonight from NASCAR iRacing FedEx League. And there he is in the 17 pulling onto the racetrack. Chris will be back full-time next season here in Xfinity. Once again, Keaton Converse is going to be full-time professional motorsports next season here in the Grand National Series, or now the Xfinity Series, and also Kanan Perkins full-time for questionable motorsports. So a ton of things announced over the last few days. Whole thing for the Grand National Series coming together. There's so many changes, not just for what is now Xfinity, but will be Grand National. But of course for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series, most notably that Gen 4 car.
You take a look down the back straightaway right now. Me and Richie are having a great battle. I'm trying to use different lines to see if I can get past them. So this will be interesting to see what lines are going to work in the race. I'm going to try going high and then cut down, see what happens. So all these lines that I'm experimenting with right now can all be lines that drivers will use in the race. And these lines are going to make it able for people to pass. 3 and 4, it's almost wide open on fresh tires. You've got to look when the tires are worn. But they're so important. It's so important to get a good run in 1 and 2, or even pass the driver in 1 and 2, because 3 and 4, it's really just going to be training the bottom. You can't really do much with 3 and 4 other than stay on the bottom. So if I can get to the inside of Richard here, I don't think I'll be able to, but if I can try to pass him. And see, with that, you can see how important the bottom is. I entered on his quarter panel, and now he's on my quarter panel, so the bottom lane is really, really crucial, especially when tires wear. You're going to want to get to the bottom, meet that white line to save your tires. If you don't save your tires here, you're going to be in trouble in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 with how much speed you have to carry in, it's so important to have tires, because if you're going slow in this corner, people are going to get under you off the corner, and you're just going to be falling back through the entire field and killing your tires as you're getting past. So if you don't save your tires in this race, you're going to be in big trouble.
Top of the board so far is actually Richard Cherry. Of course, he's locked into the championship 4 on points.
So, Matthew White, with that conclusion about how inside reliant this track is, do you believe our restarts are going to be chaos? As you'll know, drivers will probably be and trying to get as much position as they possibly can. Yeah, how do you think the restarts are going to go?
Yeah, I mean, 1 and 2, you're not going to be up to speed yet, so it's going to be interesting. In 1 and 2, the bottom and the middle are both pretty good. I don't know. I actually don't know what will be better on a restart, so we're going to find out in the race. But 3 and 4 is definitely going to be the bottom. But if you're able to pinch the driver down on that white line, you can really check them up. Especially if you hit this white line, you go straight up the track, and you're going to have to lift if someone's on your outside. So that is the one exception to what I said about before. If a driver hits that white line, they can wash up, get tight, have to lift, and you might be able to get the spot on. But yeah, restarts are going to be really crucial because of how hard it is to pass this track. Like I was saying, you really only have 1 and 2 where you can get passes done. So restarts are going to be chaos, especially with how wide this track is, especially in 1 and 2. So it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple restart wrecks. And as I'm on this run, it's actually pretty interesting. The cars are really loose, and now I can't turn that well. So in 1 and 2, it's tight. So you're going to want to really make sure you save that right run. Drivers might get confused a little bit earlier on in the run. They're going to think that since it starts off loose, it's going to build loose. So they're going to need to save the rear. But it's actually the front tire that's going to burn. So if they take care of the right rear more than they do the right front, they're going to be in trouble.
All right, as cars once again head down the front straightaway. Here's Tyler Stevenson, actually 5th on the board so far. One of his part-time Xfinity starts this season.
Like I was saying about fall-off, I've been on about a 15-lap run here, and I'm already over a second off. So there's a lot of fall-off for this track, and tires are going to be really, really important.
Yeah, we'll see, of course. 90 laps tonight, like usual. Halfway break going to be at the end of lap number 45. And yeah, into the wall goes the 19 to drum my gauntlet. All right.
I just want to point out the fact, look at this top 10. We have some new names. We have some underdogs here, I would have to say. Christian Herglas, P4, within a tenth of Richard Cherry. Fastest on the board right now. We also have Dean Thompson, did pretty good at the Dover Cup race. Obviously, sparked some tempers with the likes of Trent Wilkin and Richard Cherry, I also think. And Christopher Lowell, haven't seen that name in a while for at least 2 races. Michael Gregory as well. He's a playoff guy. He's had a pretty good run for the playoffs. CJ Erman trying to bounce back from those bad 2 finishes from the playoffs. 20 points out from Jose Wilson. We hope for a miracle today. We'll have to probably win the stage and probably get a top 5 to be confirmed. And yeah, I think this is going to be a very entertaining race.
Speaking of those drivers, look at the leaderboard. They're 8th and 9th. And Cole Wilson has like I think a 20-point advantage over Gregory. So
It's 12.
I know Cole isn't very high on the board right now in terms of speed, but he's got to be feeling pretty good with Gregory behind him on the board and Gregory not showing a lot of speed. Obviously, we don't know what he's going to have in the long run because we haven't really had one, but also pace like this, Cole's got to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, especially with the Jose Wilson. If I'm him right now, I would just be thinking just to keep the car straight, just do not get involved in the wreck, and you'll be fine. I would definitely be worried if he's in the mid pack there and tries to do a bad like an interesting strategy call. I would just tell him go with the flow. Just don't really get yourself in trouble.
If anyone's going to be making the interesting strategy call, this should be Gregory. Cole should just be pretending like this is a regular season race. Just keep the car clean, get some points, and finish well. He shouldn't be trying to pull a Jimmy Johnson at the Roval. There's no need for that. I mean, he's already in by a good amount. You just got to have Gregory try to race him. He shouldn't be doing anything.
Alright. Back live again here in Texas. 4 minutes to go in the warm-up session. Qualifying coming up, of course, 2 laps like usual. Oh, there's Matthew White in the test car going around.
Maybe not.
Into the wall.
The YouTube car is about to head out onto the track for a qualifying run. So we're getting some terrible frame drops. We're going to have to pull over and let these vehicles by.
Yeah, I'm getting terrible frame drops also.
But yeah, now we got some clean tracks. So the YouTube car, we're going to see what we can do in this YouTube car. I mean, I expect Ethan Trendler to produce some good cars here.
As we had some ghosts probably get into the commentary booth, I would assume.
Alright, so we'll be right back in Texas. Got about 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go here at Texas Motor Speedway in this warm-up session. Alright, so Matthew, what has been overall the feel, if you've done a longer run on the racetrack, how we think we're going to see the runs go tonight?
Yeah, I don't know if you're on board with my car right now, but I had a big moment in turn 2. It's really loose there. It's actually pretty flat. There's not a lot of banking on the bottom, so you got to be careful. I mean, all around this track right now on these fresh tires, this thing is loose. So like I said before, drivers are going to have to be careful. They're going to think it's building loose because it's loose on the short run, and then it's going to hit them like a wall. I mean, this thing just stops turning about 5 to 7 laps into their run. And if they're not really taking care of their right front and just taking care of their right rear, they're going to be in trouble. I mean, they're going to be plowing all over the racetrack, and just drivers are going to keep getting under them, and they're just going to get passed left and right. So these playoff drivers, especially Gregory and Wilson, they're going to have to make sure they keep the tires on.
All right, so another thing to look at tonight, I know it's not with the Drivers' Championship, of course, got that playoff battle going on for final spot inside the championship before heading next week to Homestead, Miami. But with 2 races to go in this season, the Team Owners' Championship is really close as well. Chandler Wilson Racing currently has a 3-point advantage over Team Chevy Motor Club. Ethan Trendler Racing is 74 points back on that whole group. So it's technically a battle now between Chandler Wilson Racing and Team Chevy Motor Club. 3 points separate those two. That could be a fun battle for the team's championship.
And also, while we're wrapping up practice, the draft is really powerful here. I'm behind Christopher Lowe, 7th on the board, and he's got a little fresher tires than me, I think, and I'm not really like falling back. I think the draft, how much speed you carry through the racetrack, we're going 180 miles an hour through this 3 and 4 right now, and with how much speed's at this track, there's just a lot of draft here, so the draft might play a factor in this race.
Yeah, going back to the talking about that team championship. Yeah, it's gonna be really close battle with likes of TCMC and Chandler Wilson Racing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think TCMC has the car advantage, or they are equal to each other. So that'll be really fun to see. Yeah, Chandler Wilson Racing with 7 wins compared to TCMC's 3 wins. So you definitely tell who is the more consistent team. Obviously, you have Brody Webster also taking that average score down for Chandler Wilson Racing.
And here is the 32, of course, CWR driver for Alexander Ortega. Currently 2nd on the board, as now that'll wrap up here in practice. We are coming up from qualifying in Texas Motor Speedway.
Who do you guys think is going to be our pole winner? I mean, since I'm not in the field, I'm not going to win it. So
Landon Johnson.
Don't count out Landon Johnson.
Of course, we apologize for the frame drops. I don't know what's going on with iRacing.
Yeah, I was getting them. I think it's this track has a lot to load in, so it could be with that.
Overbuilt this 89 car. They suck at their job, bro. Especially the team owners.
Well, you were one of them, but okay. Anyways, here we go. Qualifying underway. It's the final race before the championship in Texas. It's time to see who's going to win the pole. Remember, if you win the pole, you do get a bonus point. That's important maybe for a driver like Cole Wilson. You get another bonus point. You're up front. Could get you at stage points, get yourself in a better position. Cole Wilson does not want to see Michael Gregory have a good day when he's running outside of the top 10. Like if Gregory is running 2nd or 3rd and Cole's running 12th, then he might be screwed. He's only entering plus 12 to the cut line. Of course, playoff drivers are having the playoff banners on their race cars and the P next to their name, as usual here in the Xfinity Series playoffs. Max DiFilippi races away through 1 and 2. Got that new equipment with Chandler Wilson Racing as he heads down the backstretch. There is the 08. That's Knox Thompson. He'll be full-time next season in the Xfinity Series with Zone Team Nitro Motorsports. He'll be with another driver. That's Warren Cook. Here's Brian Kobash and Christian Hercott so far top of the board. 2nd is CJ Urban. Will we see improvements on lap 2? Here comes Cherry. Here's Cole Wilson. Down to the back stretch goes Christian Hercott. Back to 3 and 4 goes CJ Urban. Off turn 4 he goes down the front straightaway. Enters tonight minus 20 to the championship far cut line. He's an absolute miracle. Across the line he goes. And it will be an improvement, but not an improvement on position. Still 3rd. Thompson 2nd. Hercott still in provisional pole. There's Max DiFilippi backing it down. And then Knox Thompson goes top of the board. Max DiFilippi goes 5th, but still, all your playoff drivers besides CJ Urban to qualify still.
Yeah, you could tell. We can't say now as we see Brandon Pfeiffer in turn 4, exiting off. I think this is his 2nd lap. See if he can top his teammate CJ Urban. And he does not improve, I don't think. Yeah, no improvement. Still P4 as of now.
Sebastian goes 4th. Here's Ortega. On the racetrack here, as there's the 29 of Sherry as well. Down the backstretch he'll go. Sherry's last win was all the way back in Michigan. Can he get his 3rd win of the year to just go along? He's already locked into the championship war in points. Be good momentum boost heading to the finale next week at Homestead, Miami. Across the line goes Cherry's. No, Wilson now goes top of the board. Cherry is now fastest, and they nearly tie. What a lap by those two.
Looking at the laps, and it's a 29.846 for both these drivers. So what iRacing does in a tie like this is they're going to look at your I rating, and whoever has the higher I rating is going to get the pole of the other drivers, so Cheery must have a higher I rating. But that's not even gonna matter.
And now
Ortega's
Ortega. Yeah, Ortega goes top of the board here. Here's Gregory across the line. He'll go. He's only 6th. Man, what a show by Ortega. Cheery and Wilson at the top of the board. One more shot here for Gregory.
And you know who did not want to see this? Michael Gregory, who's all the way back in 7th place right now. He might be on his lap 2 right now in 3 and 4. I'm not sure what lap was faster.
This is lap 2.
He is sliding. This lap's not going to be better, I don't think. He was sliding out of 4.
Man, what a lap, though, by
Was,
Ortega.
but I don't think Gregory improved by about a 10th. I don't think he was
No.
He
no
stays
position.
7th. Yes. Jermaine
not what he
Gauntlet.
wanted to see. Gregory is going to have to make sure he saves his tires. As of now, Cole Wilson is 2 rows ahead. They both should be on the bottom lane here, so Gregory's going to need to make sure he saves his tires here. It's going to be really important. He needs to outperform Cole Wilson in this stage by definitely a good amount of points, or it's going to make it really, really difficult in the second stage.
Of course, he enters minus 12 to Wilson for the championship 4 with 1 race to go. Gauntlet goes 14th. 30 seconds left here. So far on provisional pole, there's the 32, Alexander Ortega. This would be great. Who could get a pole here, a point for the pole position here, and maybe get good stage points and lock himself into the final 4. Be that 3rd driver to do that.
Ortega's been showing some frustration from the
Oh!
drivers in the league recently, so
And around goes Jeremiah Gauntlet. That will do it. Alexander Ortega gonna be on pole here in Texas. What a lap of the 32.
Like I was saying, Ortega was showing some frustration with some of the drivers over the past couple weeks, so maybe him being on the pole and out front of the field might make him feel a little better about it. But we're just gonna have to find out as this race goes on. He's gonna have to make sure he saves his tires. We've seen some aggressions out of him before, so he's just gonna need to make sure to keep his tires under him.
As we are live at Texas Motor Speedway tonight for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series Championship Cutoff Race from Texas Motor Speedway. Here we go. This is it before the championship. One more race decided. Of course, real quick, once again, let's look at your points entering tonight. The championship for one more race to go. Of course, Ortega on pole here. He's now going to be plus 28 to the good on column, even before the green flag. Then you got Cole Wilson down there in plus 12. He's going to have a good day. He starts ahead of Michael Gregory tonight, which is definitely good for him. Ortega needs to be plus 33 or better to advance in this first stage. We'll see if he can do it.
Yeah, I just want to talk about Cole J. Wilson's positions. P3 right now. Michael Gregory is going to have a lot of work. Obviously, he started 7th. I think Cole J. Wilson is in one of the best spots he possibly can right now. He has his teammate on the front wheel on the outside, and he has his own driver, Alexander Ortega, starting right in front of him. We may see some team strategy here. Chandler Wilson Racing has done that in the past, and I do believe this is the best spot he could be.
So while we don't talk about this all that much, not including me and Braden, there's going to be 21 cars in this field. And if any of these playoff drivers, say Ortega or Cole, who are above the cut line right now, wreck out early, fall outside of the top 17, that will mean no points for them. So something else to keep in mind, if these drivers wreck out early and don't finish inside the top 17, that's going to be no points in the day, and that could be the difference.
Yeah, you do not want that to happen. Playoff drivers starting 1, 2, 3, Ortega, Cheery, Wilson. Then you got Gregory starting in 7th. Urban starting all the way back in 8th. And here we go from Texas Motor Speedway tonight.
I would like to point out Knox Thompson, sorry. He P4, you know, he did good in practice. He did even better in qualifying. I would like to see how he is right now. He's the fastest non-playoff driver. Of course, he is part-time, I believe, or started late in the season. Love to see what he can do later on in this race. Hopefully, he can keep his pace. Yeah, as well, Maddox Beer behind him. Got knocked out early due to some unlucky races.
Yeah, Knox Thompson, a relatively newer guy to the league, so we're not really sure what he's got yet. Obviously, he's got some short run pace, which is definitely good, but the long run pace, I think, especially at this track, is going to be the most important on the day, because after about 15 laps, you will be about a second off, and if you don't save your tires, you could be more than that. So definitely want to keep these tires. I've been saying it the whole practice session. I've been saying it the whole time. These tires are going to be very, very important in this race, and people are going to need to make sure to keep them well.
As the cars come down pit road for the second to last time this season in the Xfinity Series to check pit road speed and check their pick boxes. Of course, 2.5 miles now to end the season. The championship cutoff race for both Cup and Xfinity tonight, and then tomorrow for the Cup Series here in Texas, and then of course championship races, the championship week at Homestead Miami Speedway next week. We are 7 days away from crowning a new NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series champion, and of course the final Xfinity Series champion under the Xfinity Series name, as it goes to Grand National next season. All right, here we go. One more race to decide the championship for 2 drivers. Gonna be eliminated after tonight. The rest gonna move on to race for a championship at Homestead Miami Speedway next week. Who will those 2 be being eliminated? We already know the other 2 that are locked in, Richard Cherry and Justin Wright. But of course it's Ortega, Wilson, Gregory, Erdman going for the final 2 playoff championship 4 spots.
Like I said, practice this card is going to be really chaotic. Obviously, these drivers might not be in the lane they want to be in because of the gridding rules on the first initial start. But these playoff drivers like Gregory and Wilson, they're probably Wilson's already up there, but Gregory's going to want to get to the point quickly so he can get some dangerous.
Here we go from Texas Motor Speedway, 90 laps to decide the official championship for the second to last race of the Xfinity Series season. Green and underway in Texas. Down the backstretch they go, 3 wide action. Further back, there's Cherry in the middle. Ortega able to get to the race lead. And there's the 22, Wilson in second place. Maddox Gridhow him in third place. Cherry falls all the way back to 4th. And oh, we got a car on the wall. Somebody blinking. That's, oh my God, a big wreck happening down the front straightaway. Multiple cars are involved. And the caution, where is it?
They're all rolling here. I guess iRacing won't call it.
I don't know what iRacing's doing at all.
Yeah.
Pretty horrible.
Like Christopher Lowell, not continue. I see him stop up there. There we go. Yeah, that was a huge wreck. I saw some hoods flying in the air. I obviously see that. I don't know what. Couldn't see that number. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Go back online.
No, I don't know what OBS is doing. Okay.
Wait, has the field had to pace because of this?
No, we just had a big wreck.
Oh.
Someone almost slipped.
All right. Anyways,
Oh my
I'm
God!
sorry.
Why did everyone just pick
I
the bottom?
think we might be live again.
Literally the
iRace.
first 4 cars just picked the bottom.
We are live. Choose code now happening. I'm sorry. iRacing is really, really broken right now for everyone. My stream is also broken. So I don't know what's going on at all.
Now that we're back, something very interesting has just developed. Top 4 cars all just picked the bottom, and that let Knox Thompson, Michael Gregory in the front row. Under pacing, I think Richard Cherry was hitting the back end of that 8 car and gave him some damage. So we might have to have a chat with Cherry because this is like the 2nd or 3rd week in a row that he's been given some damage to some cars. So we're gonna have to talk to Cherry about that one. But besides the point, Knox Thompson on the front row here, really, really good. Started 4th, up to 2nd. It's gonna really need to get a good restart here. Same thing with Gregory, all the way up to the 2nd row, up to 4th place. He's gonna want to get a good restart, get past pole here. That's points for when he passes pole, so he's gonna need to make sure he gets past the quick.
All right. So it would be really nice if iRacing fixed these issues before Homestead next week. I would really appreciate that. I sometimes can't even hear my own voice when the cars go by. The Gen 4 sounds.
Get the press for our Gen 4s.
His car is in. Ortega and Knox Thompson on the front row, ready for this restart in Texas once again. Back underway, lap number 6. Ortega, what a great restart for him. Cole Wilson.
Not a good restart of that outside lane. Knox Thompson did not go. Cole Wilson cleared a second, looked for a third. Gregory trying to get to third. Good turn in the field.
Back to Gregory with an insane run.
Oh, car on the
He
wall.
is-
He will save it.
They are right next to each other. I wonder we go for a full clean lap of racing, except for wall contact.
As we can barely hear a thing was how broken the audio is for iRacing, so really appreciate that. I can't even hear what you guys are saying. Oh my
Turn
God.
your microphone down.
Oh wow!
Trying to wreck here.
The wall goes
That
Matt
Matt
Spear.
Spear, the 8 car.
Here we go, side by side for second place. How about Gregory in the inside of Cole Wilson?
Gregory's on a charge here, but with how fast he's getting to this field, you're gonna have to wonder: is he burning up his tires?
And they're side by side back at a 1 and 2. Gregory would love for Cole Wilson to have an issue here, but he's still in third. It wouldn't be enough points. Cole Wilson back to the inside, maybe even 3 wide for the lead for a second as they head down the backstretch. Wilson back to the inside of Gregory for P2.
Gregory's gonna try to pinch off for Wilson, make sure he can't make a mistake.
Whoa!
If he hits the apron like that, got really close there. Gregory's able to hold on the outside, but that's up to the tires a little bit.
Brandon Pfeiffer charging through the field.
They head side by side.
He needs to pinch that 22 car down to the bottom. Give him no exit because the banking gets really flat off of turn 2. So if we can pinch that 22 down, we'll make it really hard to keep.
And here comes Pfeiffer around the outside. He's going to get a 2 for 1.
Look at that 77 for maybe second place. He's on the outside. He's getting loose, but he's side by side with Gregory down the front stretch.
The outside of Ortega
Under
now.
attack here. Ortega's got to be careful. He could lose a couple spots here. Pfeiffer's right here. He's burned up his tires, though. He's got to be really careful.
Pfeiffer on the back bumper of that 32 as they head down the backstretch, 10 laps into Texas. There's Michael Gregory, though, still to the inside.
Gregory's not going to let this position go easy. He's going to make sure that he keeps fighting for this because he does not want Cole Wilson to get back by him.
And over the lead, almost contact.
Oh!
Pfeiffer's loose. He'll save it and will slide back into second place. As they head back into
Impressive
one.
move out of that 77 on lap 11. Able to gather up, though, not cause an incident. Now they're fighting for second again.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to do an over-under there on the first part of the trial, but as they're blocking really hard in that back of the first main pack. Yeah, it just looked like he... Looks like he tried to do an over-under. Ortega said no. Had barely a nose in there and just got all in. Good job by everyone to get it all going and stay green.
Side by side, look at Richard Series falling all the way back now to 7th place on the inside of Christian Herklots for 6th.
Yeah, and like I said before, tires are going to be really important. So I think Richard Shear right now is going back to the field and trying to save his tires. I can't imagine Richard Shear would be that far off in case he had to practice to fall back like that. So I feel like he's probably saving his stuff right now, trying to save his stuff for later. There's a lot of fall off over. These drivers are probably a second off of their fast lap right now. This is the best time for the second off. So these drivers are really far off. Their cars probably aren't driving very well. I'd assume they're tight because of everyone washing up to the wall like that. And yeah, these drivers gotta make sure they're saving their tires. Piper's really surprisingly how he's still up with the leaders with how hard he's been driving. I'm shocked he hasn't fallen off yet.
As their car getting loose, there's Jeremiah Gauntlet to the inside. There's the 48 that has killed Bastion as they head back into 1 and 2. Ortega continues to lead here in Texas, 2nd place. Brandon Pfeiffer 3rd. Michael Gregory there in the 5. He's looking at the inside of that 77 for 2nd place. Still, though, not going to be enough points. He needs Cole Wilson to fall back. And has to get even better stage points than this.
Gregory's got to race hard here. He's gonna get back to 77 quick. If he doesn't, that 22 is gonna be right there. He already is there. We can't. He's got to make quick work of this 77 car. Wilson can pass him right back.
Of course, Pfeiffer was really pushing early on. We know tires are going to fall off, and now Gregory is clear on the 77, but here comes Cole Wilson once again. These two, Brandon, or I should say Michael Gregory and Cole Wilson, can't seem to get away from each other. Kind of funny how that always works.
That's not what Gregory wants to see. Gregory wants to see Cole Wilson fall back to the field, race them into the field. So Gregory definitely not wanting to see this, but best case scenario for him, the only case scenario for him that's going well is he's ahead of the 22 right now.
It's the
He's got to
77.
get ahead of the 32.
Pfeiffer goes way up the racetrack and will lose maybe 3 spots because of this. And to the inside goes Christian Herklotz. How about P5? 3 playoff drivers in line. Ortega, Gregory, and Wilson. Of course, even if Gregory won this race, he would still not be locked in. He has to be better on points than Cole Wilson. So could he, if he wins this race and Cole still has a really good day, it could be a very interesting moment because you're going to be happy that you won your first ever race, but also he's going to be missing the championship floor.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to hope to get good stage points here. Obviously, Kojay Wilson, I would assume they're running the same pace right now. Tire strategy. We'll be around the same, probably around the halfway break, as he tries to get around Ortega.
The outside he goes.
Really bad. He was 2/10 a lot faster right there. Or the last lap, he was 2/10, over 2/10 faster.
He's Oliver's.
Big bird.
Yeah, he's Oliver's bumper to the inside. He'll go for the lead. Look at Michael Gregory. He knows he's got to do this, and he's doing everything he can to try to make this championship four. The inside of the 32 of Ortega, he'll go back in a 3 and 4. On the bottom of the middle, make a little bit of contact as they head down the front straightaway, and Michael Gregory going to take the lead here.
We've been talking a lot about Wilson and Gregory and their point situation, but we can't forget that Ortega isn't locked in either. He's got a better point situation than everyone else. He's not locked in, so if he loses spots here, maybe falls back to like 5th or 6th, he's going to be in trouble.
On the wall a little bit.
These two stay up here.
Here comes Sherry as well, though, but Gregory, or I should say Ortega, looking back to the inside of Michael Gregory.
Gregory's going to make this pass as hard as possible. He cannot lose this spot. He's got to stay in this lead. He does not want to leave one spot behind him.
Here we go. There's Tyler Stevenson battling Max Thompson, falling back. Richard Cherry starting to drive his way back up through this field. Still, though, 26 laps to go to the halfway break in Texas. Oh, what a big block by Stevenson down on the inside. My God, on Thompson.
Yeah, I was watching Tyler J. Stevenson the entire race. He was doing those aggressive blocks on people like Christian Herklotz, CJ Erdman, Max Thompson, as you just saw there. Yeah, he was very aggressive. He adamant on keeping this top 10, trying to aim for a top 5, being very aggressive in this race.
Also saying in practice how important the bottom lane was in 3 and 4, and these drivers are really gonna try to stay on the bottom here and protect that bottom. So you're gonna see a lot of blocks like that. I think you're gonna see that in Cup tomorrow as well. Drivers are really gonna want this bottom lane because it's a faster way and it's better for your tires. So these drivers are really block for that, and there's no other lane for these drivers in 3 and 4 to make up time.
Michael Gregory continues to lead here at Texas. Second place, that 32. Alexander Ortega currently running in 3rd. There is Cole Wilson trying to run down his teammate Ortega. Of course, Cole Wilson in a worse situation in points than Ortega tonight. But Ortega, if he finishes 2nd here in the stage, I believe he might lock himself in. It'll be close, but he's going to be in a good position to do that.
Yeah, we definitely may see some team strategy play out here. I know they're both not locked in, but Kojay Wilson is in a worse situation right now. The current leader is Michael Gregory. His points battle, I don't know. I have heard some rumors about Alexander Ortega and CWR, so, I mean, we may have some team implications here, but yeah, we may see some team strategy play out.
Yeah, let's also not forget that Wilson owns the Ortega car, so could be some team orders to tell Ortega to lose the spot.
And Ortega maybe looking back to the inside of Michael Gregory. Of course, even if Gregory wins this stage, Wilson still runs 3rd. So it's not enough. Even if he wins the race and Wilson finishes 3rd. It's got to have more with Wilson falling back.
I would assume Alexander Ortega looks to the inside. Michael Gregory shuts the door on him. Remain the leader for lap 25. Past the halfway point until we hit the halfway point. 35% done in the race. Yeah, they're all top 5 are all now close. Michael Gregory, I must be assuming that he's holding up the pack as we see Ryan, CJ Erdman, Max Diffie, all battling right now.
Erdman running back in 11th right now. Of course, he is not having the day.
I've been watching Fury for the last couple laps. He's been one of the fastest cars, if not the fastest car on track in traffic. And like we said before, I think that was him saving his tires, and it's showing that it was. He's driving past Herklots right now for 4th, and I think he has a chance to go battle for this lead if he can get up there.
As cars once again head down the backstretch here at Texas, 26 laps in. Michael Gregory continues to lead. We've got a side-by-side battle between Knox Thompson and Jeremiah Gauntlet. Thompson slides his way to the inside into 7th place.
I like Matthew White connected. Knox Thompson did not. Looks like he's not holding well with these old tires. Saw that Dover last race. Top car. Still doing a great effort right now. Top 10. We think it's a good station here.
As we're watching this run, these drivers are nearly 2 seconds off of their fast lap right now. The 12th pile off of the pole, they are 2 seconds off. So lots of fall off here, and like I said before, the drivers that don't take care of their tires are going to be in trouble. And we can see in the second pack, there's some stragglers back here. These drivers are not the ones that took care of their tires. They've fallen far back from the field.
And of course, Erdman might even have a situation where he's getting knocked out of the Championship 4 battle if he finishes 11th here in the stage and doesn't get any stage points. Here is the 32 of Ortega, all over the back bumper of Michael Gregory. They battle for the race lead. Of course, a lot of these Xfinity Series racers, as we go later in the season now, only 2 races to go before the finale. Of course, 2 races to go, including the finale next week at Homestead Miami Speedway. A lot of Xfinity Series drivers possibly looking for cup rides next season. So, want to get the attention of team owners. Think about Michael Gregory, maybe Alexander Ortega. We know Cole Wilson's returning to the Xfinity Series next season, so is Richard Cherry. But other drivers, maybe like Christian Herklots. That's a name we could throw around in the Cup Series next season. He's ridden really good, even though he didn't make playoffs this year in the second half of the season. Currently runs 5th in this race.
We've already announced that next season Cup car is going to be the Gen 4. And the Gen 4 and iRacing drives pretty similar to the Xfinity car, just with more power. So these drivers that are good in Xfinity, and if they decide to go to Cup, you're probably going to see some similarities of the faster cars here in this series are going to be faster in Cup as well.
And here we go.
It's going to be interesting to see if they can balance the power.
Race lead change. Ortega repasses on the 5 of Michael Gregory, and we'll retake the lead in Texas, coming to 15 to go to the halfway break.
It looks like a very effortless pass for Alexander Ortega. You can definitely tell Michael Gregory's tires are falling off hard.
Track conditions also continuing to change with the sun beginning to set a little bit. Gauntlet just got around the 0 to Knox Thompson, who falls back to 8th. There is the 77 of Brandon Piper. Got a battle here between the 9th core of Erdman trying to get himself into a stage points situation. Still would obviously not be even close to enough to make the Championship 4. He needs an absolute miracle at this point. But he didn't even need one coming in. And he will pass the 48 of Kobashian. Kobashian, though, looking back to the inside. They head side by side down the front straightaway. There's Deeper Leafy also involved in the battle. Knox Thompson now battling with the 77 of Brandon Piper. Brandon Piper, another name you can think about the Cup Series next season. We'll see what happens there. Oh, what a crossover to the inside. My God. On the 08.
Yeah, several names I see right now have had rumors that obviously silly season is kind of already starting. I've seen some activity in the silly season channel. Things like Christian Hercules rumored with TCMC and Question Motorsports. It's still undecided. Brody Webster, Gauntlet, Brandon Pfeiffer as well. He's trying to get a cup ride. I know that. Max DiFilippi obviously just signed a CWR mid-season. And Knox Thompson as well created his own team with that, I think it was a 16 car.
Yeah, there's a lot of of changes, of course, happening next season, not just with the whole league, but of course the roster. Drivers may be moving up. We also have a couple drivers announced moving down. Of course, you'll see your Season 2 Cup Series champion, Cole Clausen, and the entirety of MNF Racing moving down to the NASCAR iRacing FedEx, or NASCAR iRacing Grand National Series, I should say, next season. Of course, it'll include Ethan McMillan, one of the team owners, Landon Fish, the other team owner. I haven't seen him in a while. And then, of course, Cole Clausen, most notably, and they have another rookie coming on board as well.
Yeah, some of these drivers are not too fond of the Gen 4. You see Christian Herklotz pass Max Spear, who I think is a lap car. Yeah, I saw a lot of people raise concern over the Gen 4. Most people love the car, including myself. But yeah, a lot of teams, a lot of drivers are moving down. It's going to be a very active season compared to the past 2 seasons.
But then you got a bunch of other Xfinity Series drivers moving up to the Cup Series, so it kind of just holds a lot of changes going around.
Yeah, and I said it before how the Xfinity car and the Gen 4 are similar. The only difference is obviously the power that the Gen 4s have compared. But MNF Racing, all those drivers moving down, you have to wonder with the similarities between those two cars. If MNF are going to spend a season down in Xfinity to maybe learn the Xfinity car a little more, and then move up to Cup so they have a better idea of what the Gen 4 is going to drive like. So it's going to be interesting to see the depth. We got hard to the grass. Stevenson on the front stretch.
Oh!
Got back down.
Oh, that's hard hit. 48 car. Yeah, haven't seen that that team do a lot of part-time starts. I think they'll have to settle their feet down a bit for the first few races, and with no playoffs next year, I think definitely you're gonna have to start out good and you're gonna have to start out fast if you want to top of the championship.
Of course, full points format coming for both Cup and Xfinity on Saturday. That'll be announced. And how about Christian Herklotz getting around Richard Cherry for 4th place?
I was gonna say, how about Herklotz? I mean, hasn't really done too much this season. Hasn't won. Hasn't really been around this season. Now he's battling the regular season champions. Just got by.
Yeah, this is
Can Herklotz get past Wilson and really mess up the playoffs here?
Yeah, last time he got a playoffs, top 5 for Christian Herklotz was Iowa, so been a few races for him. He's up to 4th, driving the number 4 car. Coming to, I think, 6 to go into the halfway break.
Yeah, of course. So take it now as a 1-second lead over Michael Gregory. Look back through the field even more. There's Brandon Piper currently running in 8th. How about CJ Urban looking to the inside of Max Thompson? Oh, Cole Wilson. This is big, though, for the points. Wow, he's going to fall back to, what, 5th, maybe? Or Cherry somehow didn't pass him.
Cherry may have on 15 orders right there. Heavy.
Let's take a look. I think he went into the wall or something.
Oh, yes.
Just got loose. He's up the track.
Into the wall he goes, and that was really, really close to a wreck. Caution.
I'm not sure what happened. It sounds like he might have gotten turned or something. He's got some damage.
Smoke on the exit in the
Taker's
middle
not
of
very
1-2.
happy with that caution.
Obviously,
Maybe
very
Knox
interesting time for a caution. I think we're going to have a restart.
Oh, wow.
Like 1 to go.
German, a playoff driver. Oh, my God. He is cutting that. Oh, wow.
I think he just overcooked the corner. I mean, it's hard to tell what happened, but it looked like he just overcooked it.
Wow. Oh, man. Everyone.
Honestly, just not hold the brake. Wow.
Yeah. Good job by the rest of the field to avoid Knox, and good job by him to keep it out the wall to limit the damage there.
We would ride along with CJ Urban through that crash, but unfortunately the car would sound like I don't even know what. And you wouldn't be able to hear what we're saying, so we can't do that.
Probably have a word with Urban, try to get some quotes on what he has to say about that situation.
All right, so let's see what happens, though, on this pit stop here. Is anyone going to pit? Like you said, so tires will matter a lot for the end of the station. Yes, here we come. Cars coming up here. Does anyone stay out? Cars sit, Mike. Wow.
Drivers. I'm surprised you didn't see a driver like Michael Gregory stay out. With some of the field back there, looks like they are going to stay out. So that's pretty interesting. I'm kind of surprised about Gregory not staying out, but in addition, we've talked about the fall off. There was about 2 seconds of fall off, so this is going to be really, really interesting to see. This is going to be really, really interesting to see what the drivers are going to do here, especially these playoff drivers like Gregory. I mean, he's going to have to get through the field as fast as he can to get these points over Wilson.
Here they come, off pit road first, the 32 over Ortega, second Michael Gregory, third, how about Cole Wilson? Actually gained some spots, even with that damage. So, a couple of cars did stay out. That is Tyler Stevenson, Jeremiah Gauntly, Ryan Kilbashton, and Rojan Koch. They're on all tires.
I just talked to
These
CJ
drivers,
Ehrman.
these drivers were the ones. These drivers were the ones in the back of the field. So, these drivers didn't really save their tires all that well. So, they're going to be the drivers that are more than 2 seconds off because they didn't save their tires as well. So, fresh tires and then drivers with 2 seconds off on their tires. With another added factor with, I think tire spin is going to be a factor on this restart. So the playoff drivers, especially Cole Wilson and Michael Gregory, do not want to get involved in a possible wreck here.
Yeah, Ryan Gauntly started at the back. I think he was not even in the top 20 where he was at. He's up second. I was watching him. He climbed up around, I think, the P8. As I think we're out coming to the choose cone. He chooses the top. Rest of the people stay out, chose bottom. Alexander Ortega chooses top. Yeah, rest of the people, it's pretty even. Yeah, CJ Ehrman takes full accountability of that incident. He said did not expect him to break that much. As you saw, he was just he was being overly aggressive and just trying to make that move stick, and it did not stick.
Maddox Spear got the free pass there. We're going to have 2 laps to go to decide the stage here. We got old tires up front.
Very, very interesting to see how this start goes. Gregory picked the bottom behind the 3 lap cars, so I think he's going to need to pull off some insane moves here to get past Cole, but I think Cole's in the better spot being on the outside. He's going to be able to power around everyone with those tires, so I'm not very confident in the decision by the 5 car, but you never know. I mean, maybe you can get under these cars and get to the lead, you never know.
As lights have officially been ticked on here at Texas Motor Speedway, sun is just about setting. As you're getting ready to come to the second half of this race, but like we have a stage finish here, 2 laps to go to the halfway break to decide it. Top 10, of course, all get stage points. Can Ortega get around everybody, maybe lock himself into the next course into the championship 4 as well? Here we go, pace car on pit road. Let's get back underway in Texas. We got 2 laps to go for the stage. Old tires up front, back to green. New tires, of course, mean a ton. What are we going to see? Not a lot of wheel spin. I'm actually impressed by these guys, but oh, maybe not. Look at Kilbashing getting loose. Gregory didn't have a good start, but Rojan Koch up way up the racetrack. And here's the 32 of Ortega for second place, and will be on the lead in a minute. As they head down the back straightaway, Wilson got a good restart, but they're 3 wide. Further back, a look at Gregory to the outside lane. This is not what he wants to see, but side by side with the race lead between Ortega and the 98 of Stevenson. Coming to the 1 to go in the stage, and Ortega gonna clear him.
Stevenson's not gonna be able to fight very well with these tires.
Gregory, this is not what he wants to see. He's all the way back now in 6th place to the inside, now to the bumper of the 29 he'll go. Cole Wilson all over the back bumper. Oh, he's way up the racetrack, and here comes Gregory, 3 wide down the back straightaway. He is doing everything he can.
To Gregory went to saving grace for him, and he is back ahead of Wilson, but
the 98. He's loose in the bottom. iRacing's lagging as they come to the green and white checker flag. Ortega's going to win the stage second. Wilson, it's going to be a battle for third, I believe, is the 98. And that'll be the stage caution. No one's throwing it.
Yeah, I would assume Michael Gregory would not be happy with that 98 car. Obviously, it was not his fault. But just seeing your playoff rival just drive past you right as you're side by side with him and just having the car in front of you check up due to his older tires. I would not be happy with that move, but wonder how Gregory feels.
I'm not sure what the points are gonna do here, but that's 2 more to Wilson there. That's not what Gregory wanted. I'm not really sure what it's like, but Wilson's gonna have to basically wreck out at this point. I mean, it's gonna gonna be really desperate measures for this 5 car. I mean, he's gonna need a lot to happen to get in now.
Again, once again, apologize for the iRacing frame drop. It's really, really bad right now. So hopefully they fix the frame drop and the car sound issues before Homestead next week. That'd be nice. All right, so now this is interesting. You got 3 sets of tires on pit road. Who's gonna pit here? That's the question.
I think the drivers that stayed out are gonna pit, and the drivers that pitted are gonna stay out. Tire
Alright.
sets are gonna be so coveted. I think you only get 3 sets in this race, so.
All right, so here we go. Probably just gonna see the drivers that didn't pit before coming down pit road. Ortega on the bottom, probably gonna fake. Yeah, that's a late fake. Oh, Cole Wilson is pitted. No, he's not. That was a blink. So mostly everyone that stayed out before coming up pit road now, and the drivers that pitted before staying out.
For some reason, CJ Herman is in the waiting room. He apparently wants an interview. I don't think he can possibly do that. I don't know what it is, though.
So also update, officially, Alexander Ortega has locked himself into the championship for here at Texas. He will race for a NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series championship next week from Homestead Miami Speedway.
Great news for him. Obviously, now he can relax, just help out his teammate his teammate and owner Cole J. Wilson. Try to beat Michael Greger. Obviously, he's gonna have that 2 extra points after the halfway break for Cole J. Wilson. But he needs all the help he can get right now. So obviously, Michael Greger, I do not think has a lot of teammates out there for help, as I know of. I don't know what team he's on.
His teammate is the only teammate is Rojan Koch.
I would think Rojan Koch would help him. Running P3 right now. Obviously, Rojan Koch, I do not believe is here. Or
He is currently
Wow, he
in
is
20,
here.
he's 13th.
Maybe he can get up there. Hope to see him up there to help out Michael Greger.
All right, yeah, but Gregory needs an absolute miracle now. He needs Cole Wilson to probably almost fall out of this race, and for him to maybe even try to get close to winning it. Come to the shoes. Inside, CWR cars. Look at the front row of Gregory here. We're gonna restart here on lap 50 in Texas. Matthew White, do you think any sort of crazy things could happen to get Gregory in, or is it just maybe too little, too late?
I don't think Gregory's chances are looking too good, especially with the speed Wilson had this race. So. Gregory's gonna have to win, I think, and Wilson's gonna have to finish outside the top 10 for any chance.
It'll be definitely interesting if that sort of thing happens. As we're ready for the restart here in Texas once again. Gonna be on lap 50. And have 41 laps to go, over halfway from the Texas Motor Speedway tonight. Here we go. From Texas. Pace car is in. Ready for this restart. It's Ortega, Gregory on the front row. Over halfway at the Texas Motor Speedways. We're back to green again. Final race before the championship. Ortega, of course, locks himself in after winning the stage. And there is Cole Wilson sliding to second place. Gregory now on the outside. The 29 of Cherry Dew is inside as well. How about the 94 Vermin up to P6? But he may even be out of the shot for the championship now as they head down the back. Straight up, we got a car wrecking. Then 9, then we got multiple cars. In the wall goes the 16 Warren Cook. And 98, that is the 98 of Stevenson around. We stay green. Caution. Oh my God, I'm death
Out of
now.
the way the leaders, so we're gonna stay green there.
iRacing makes the most horrific sound ever as they head back into 1 and 2. There's that 22 Cole Wilson at the bottom, the 5 Michael Gregory on the outside lane. Gregory, they might split him the 32-3 wide as they head down the back straightaway. Ortega able to hold the lead though. But Gregory's still on the outside of Cole Wilson. Look at CJ Erdman up into 4th place. He's to the inside of Gregory now. What a run. Oh, they make almost contact. They slide as they head through the tri-oval again, or the quad oval.
Oh man, this race is making me think we're about to have a wreck. This is aggressive. Erdman has to have a lot of things happen his way to get in. I'm sure it might be out of the question here, but Erdman's just looking to win this race and try to have any chance possible.
In the wall goes Gregory. Look at the outside, the 77, Brandon Pfeiffer. What a run.
Remember what happened with Pfeiffer earlier in the
race? And Gregory in the grass. He'll slide. Will save the race car, but still is loose. He is trying to save it. What a save by Michael Gregory, but he's going to fall back and is still sliding. And he's going to get split 3 wide.
Not what Gregory wanted to see. Definitely not what he wanted to see there.
Fall back to 7th. Possibly even 8th, with even Leapy now on his bumper. In this battle between 2 high cars, the 77 of Pfeiffer and the 94 of Erdman.
Pfeiffer up early in the green light. Last time like this, calling the hole off almost about 7 seconds back to the leaders. I'm not sure he really learned from last time. He looked like he's pushing as hard as he can right now to get to the lead.
As they head side by side back into 3 and 4 here in Texas. Cole Wilson ahead of these two. It's the Chandler Wilson Racing 1 and 2. The next Team Chevy Motorco car is 5th place Hartklotz with his teammate 6th place Cherry. So they, of course, CWR now is having good owners points. Came to this +3 over TCMC in the Owners Championship with 2 races to go. Of course, it's the highest finishing driver on that team that gets the points for the team as they head side by side for 2nd, the 77 of Pfeiffer on the 22 of Cole Wilson. What a run Pfeiffer's having on the short runs tonight. And he maybe even for the...
Pfeiffer's gonna have yellow now already those tires. I mean, I'm not sure these tires are gonna last much longer with how hard he's driving.
And Pfeiffer to P2. Now, he's sliding up the racetrack again, and he's got Cole Wilson. Oh my God, they make contact. In the wall he goes. That nearly took out Cole Wilson. That could have been bad. And Wilson gonna slot back in to try to get 2nd place.
Wilson's not gonna be happy with that. Looks like he gave him a little bit of damage.
There's Erdman gonna go through 1 and 2 once again. As they head down this backstretch at Texas Motor Speedway. 22 Cole Wilson down there as well. Christian Hartklotz currently runs in 5th.
Contact further back with Cherry, Gregory, Franklin for 5th spot.
Look at this whole mess. 3 wide. How about Eli Franklin running up in 8th place?
Zane Ramon calls for the first lap wreck. He's up to the top 10.
Zane Ramon had a terrible night.
He recently announced PWR. Trying to fight against that inside the top 10.
Ramon had a terrible day last week in Dover. Look at this mess. Wide once again, heading back through 1 and 2. Oh, up the racetrack, big time goes Eli Franklin. Lose the back end of that race car. As here we go, side by side between Erdman and Pfeiffer. What is 3rd place? Currently, if it ended now, of course, the 3 locked-in drivers, Cherry, now on the 32 of Ortega, and Justin Wright would advance, and then, of course, Cole Wilson, the last driver on points. And heading to Miami next week for the finale, I don't really know who a championship favorite could be. Like, it has been so wide open between those four. They've all been trading places. They've all been so good this year. I mean, think of Cherry earlier in the season, but as of late, he really hasn't had the best speed. Gregory's been on fire, but of course, might not even make the championship four.
Contact between DeFilippi and Ramon back there.
And there is
Once
Christian
again,
Herklotz. What a run in
Man,
third
Herklotz,
place.
if he can catch these leaders, he has a chance to win this race. I mean, not a lot of speed out of him we've seen this year, but up to third right now, highest he's been running all day. Really, really good tire management on this 4 car. Now he's just got to keep the tires on it as this run goes on and hope he catches the 32 and the 22.
Of course, 29 laps to go here in Texas tonight. Zane Ramon having a very good day and his 17th birthday on the bottom in 9. Max DeFilippi, there's the 30, that's Ryan Kilbasher.
We're the fastest car on track right now, so definitely got to keep our eye on that.
Here we go to the inside. The 5 of Gregory looking on the Cherry. Can't get there, though.
Really?
Herklotz trying to run down these leaders. Cole Wilson still in the bumper of his teammate. Cole Wilson trying to make his 3rd straight Championship 4 appearance in the Xfinity Series. He's the only driver in the Xfinity Series playoffs that has been in the Championship 4 before. Ortega, of
really
course.
Mad that you think about that. In Cup, we've had, I've been in the championship all 4 years, or all 3 years. Braden's been in the championship all 3 years. We're going to make it 4 this year with us being locked in already. So, Cup is a completely different story. In Xfinity, you have no one except for Wilson who's been locked in. So that's pretty interesting. A lot of new drivers entering this league.
Yeah, of course, Cup is the place where all the veterans are. Have been here forever as we got a battle for what is 4th place between Pfeiffer and Erdman. Also got this battle back here. Gauntlet to the inside of the little club of DeFilippi for a second there. Continue to go here in Texas. 25 now laps to go. Sorry, not 25 laps to go. No, there is 25 laps to go. No. I'm just stupid. There is 25. Yeah, there is 25 laps to go. All right. Sorry about that. Oh, we had a piece of sheet metal. I don't know where that came from at all. But okay.
Grass. Someone said over the radio there was grass.
Oh, we got a side-by-side battle. Really, there's nothing now. We got a door-to-door battle. Here we go, side-by-side down the front straightaway. Gauntlet and DeFilippi.
Yeah, slow car driving down pit road. Must have been the car that lost her back bumper. Not sure what happened.
Is Maddox Spirit, I believe, running basically in last. There he is in the 8. I believe that was him. It has not been a good day for Maddox Spirit. Of course, he made the playoffs this season, was eliminated in the first rounds, but does have maybe some rumors that he'll be moving up full-time to the Cup Series next season. The spot opening up at Team Chevy Motor Club. We'll have to wait and see what that.
Gaining for Herklotz stops. He's actually lost a little bit of time, unfortunately. Wilson's kind of holding, maybe losing a little bit now. It looks like he's just driving away a little bit right now.
Tega, of course, looking for
this race to go green.
Tega looking for win number 3 on the season. Would be his 2nd in the playoffs after winning at Martinsville. He's been really good on the mile-and-a-half this year, but every mile-and-a-half race, it just seems chaos happens and he can't escape it. Tonight, he's been calm and collected so far, and just over 20 laps to go. I mean, so many drivers you don't usually see in the top 10 having great runs. How about what? Zane Ramon.
Really good battle for 9.
How about Zane Ramon? We also have this battle between DeFilippi and Gauntlet, like Matthew said. But again, Zane Ramon runs 8th, and he is
was involved in the wreck on lap 1, and now he's fighting for 7th on Richard Cherry.
Yeah, Richard Cherry is your regular season champion. He's sitting inside. Wow, what a run the 17 is having. Up to P7. Unbelievable. This is a career day so far for Zane. Stay side by side on the back
Nice
straight.
win in Daytona and iCar. Hasn't had a lot of success, but today looks like a right step in the right direction.
Yeah, of course, just announced that he's going to be returning full-time to the Grand National Series. What is next season? His own team, Stream and Luigi Racing. We go back to the inside again. Piper on Erdman.
We were just talking about how Wilson and Hercloth are falling back. Well, I take that back. Wilson's starting to close in. Hercloth is gaining about 3/10. We'll have a battle heating up for second soon.
Yeah. So we come back to 19 laps to go in Texas. Ortega has
Ortega there.
Ortega, of course, he has led the most laps in this race so far. Can he bring it home? Doesn't really need to for points' sake, but it would be nice. It would be really, really good momentum for Alexander Ortega to win. Of course, a 1.5-mile race, a 1.5-mile next week at Homestead, Miami. Of course, you really can't get too much different between the 2.5-miles at Texas and Miami, but still would help with good momentum. And here we go. Look at Hercloth, the inside of Cole Wilson for second place. He's got to try to pass him as soon as possible.
Pass quick.
Yes.
Yeah, he's gonna run out of time soon if he doesn't get this pass done. And he looks like he's the fastest car on the track right now. So he doesn't really want to lose his momentum he's on. So he's gotta get past this 22 really quick without hurting his tires.
I mean, think about Cup team owners watching. You never know. Christian Hercloth's having a career day in third place, possibly even in second. This is really, really good exposure for him. Doesn't have a deal worked out so far for next season in any series. That's public. Stay through 1 and 2 and down the back stretch yet again. Now it's kind of stalled out behind the 22 of Wilson.
Battle between Erdman and Gregory happening further back.
Gregory, of course, yeah, just not what he needed to see late in the race. Of course, had that really loose moment, just trying to recover. Maybe going to get up to 4th, 5th place here, but still not enough.
Yeah, Gregory's been matching or a little slower than the leader, so he doesn't have bad pace overall. He's just not quite good enough today.
Hercloth still on the bumper of Cole Wilson. These two continue to fall back from your leader. Wilson, though, still in a pretty good position to try to advance to the championship 4. There's that 32 of Ortega on the bottom now. Hercloth's catching up to the 22 of Wilson. Also got Brandon Pfeiffer running with Michael Gregory, the 94 of C.J. Erdman. There's the 29, Richard Cherry. He's had an okay day, didn't need to do anything. Came into this race locked into the championship 4, currently runs in 7th. Can put us all, I mean, all the drivers that are locked in, Justin Rod, Richard Cherry, they're all looking forward to Homestead, Miami next week. They're not really focusing on Texas. I would assume, Matthew, it's the same for you in the Cup Series side.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow, not really a race that matters to me, just gonna go out there and try to win. That's really the main goal at this point. Points don't really matter now that I'm locked in, so all that matters is winning the races. I feel like for both these series, it's gonna take a race win to win the championship. Yeah, gonna have to win it. With the Cup cars, dirty air here tomorrow is gonna be rough. It's going to be really interesting. Track positions are going to mean everything as it had all season. So tires are going to be really important. Track is going to be really important. And I expect the same at Homestead next week.
Yeah, as we head still this battle for second place. Also been tough with the iRacing frame drop tonight. I barely keep my eyes on what's going on with the action, but anyways. Hopefully somehow get that fixed out for tomorrow night. We'll do some testing tomorrow to make sure, try to make sure it's okay. But I really can't control the iRacing frame drops because it's iRacing's issue. Head back into 1 and 2 here. 12 laps to go at Texas. Ortega just trying to hold on, which would be mostly outside of maybe the battle between him and Michael Gregory, mostly dominant win. Here we go. Look at Michael Gregory back to the inside on Pfeiffer for 4th. Still, though, of course, would not be enough.
Yeah, the 5 car's gonna need a yellow here. Once we go green after that yellow, it's gonna need to help that Wilson sticking out. Not gonna be able to point his way in, even if he was somehow able to drive up and get a win. Still wouldn't be enough.
Yeah, fortunate for the driver of the 5. Just that slide definitely did not help him, even though Cole Wilson was still running in 2nd place. Probably wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, even if that 5 car was leading and did win the race today, I don't think it would matter unless it wasn't some kind of issue.
10 laps to go at Texas Motor Speedway to decide the championship core for the Xfinity Series. Next week's finale at Homestead, Miami. Of course, the Xfinity Series has actually never visited Texas, first ever time, mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. Cup Series did go here last season, of course. NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series championship cutoff race tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That one will be very, very interesting. Teammates Dylan Banks, Sean Hilquich, Ashton Miller, or not, of course, a teammate, but a former ETR driver, all going for those final spots inside the championship core. That is going to be intense tomorrow night in Texas.
The most notable one that's going to be on the cutoff tomorrow is Karen Chandler. I mean, he's had a really good season, had a lot of speed, just gotten really, really unlucky getting into this cut up, but one of the best cars all season long. Hopefully that driver doesn't get in any sort of trouble, especially on that's what really killed him for a couple races now, the restarts. So hoping for a clean race tomorrow and just do exactly what Cole Wilson did, was being here up in the front and just having a clean race to lock himself into the next round.
Yeah, Cameron just needs to score very good stage points over Ashton Miller. He would be mostly okay after that. But a 7 to go here in Texas tonight for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series. Penultimate race of the season. 1 second to gap between Ortega and Cole Wilson. Still, Christian Urquhart's all of the back and forth 22 Wilson. Of course, in the Cup Series tomorrow night, you're also going to have Hilquich and Wilkin entering below the Cutland. They both signed contract extensions with Ethan Trendler Racing for the Cup Series heading into Season 5, so they'll be back at that team next year. Wilson is loose once again in 3 and 4. Urquhart's all over his back mover. Even if Wilson gets past here, it will not matter for the playoffs. So you maybe think, will Wilson maybe just let the 4 car go here? Maybe make sure he's able to hold this for his playoff or championship 4 spot. But you think about it, a TCMC car for Christian Urquhart, of course, a Chandler Wilson Racing car is leading, and they're both in that battle, which will go to Miami next week for that team's championship. You don't want to give TCMC an extra point. You don't have to. Time to go now.
If there's a yellow. If we get a yellow here, all the drivers are going to pull it down pit road. I wouldn't be surprised if it's laid out. I mean, it looks like we've got a battle with that on the racetrack right now. So, yellow is not another card yet. Still think there could be a yellow with these drivers here.
There's CJ, but of course falling back to 8th. He will be, of course, once the checker flag falls here tonight. Good effort in the playoffs, but of course way out with the spot for the championship 4. He'll be eliminated. Same thing with Michael Gregory if nothing changes here. That car in the way there with Ortega. That's Tyler Stevenson. Only car inside the top 5 that is not from the playoffs is Christian Urquhart. So what a run he's having tonight. Still has a chance at second now with 3 to go. And definitely getting in the attention of Cup Series team owners. The outside of Wilson will go through 1 and 2. For P2.
Yeah, unfortunate for Urquhart, okay, he's finally trying to make the
Whoa!
pass.
Man, at the bottom he goes, Wilson. Wilson blocking all the way down.
us had more time, maybe he'd have a chance, but unfortunately for that four car. Still a really good run this last season run for him. Not gonna forget about this one. Hopefully he can bring the speed.
Oh, lap car gonna get way out of the way with a lap and a half to go here in Texas. Decide the championship 4. Once again, they have there's cars just staying on the lead lap. Not for second, but it's a 1.5 second lead for Ortega as he comes to the white flag this time by 1 lap to go in Texas. Alexander Ortega won the stage. He was also on pole, looking for an absolute max point stay, especially if he can get 0x. Locked himself into the championship 4 after the stage, so it didn't matter with all that. But as he heads down the back straightaway one more time, looking for win number 3 of the season. Back into 3 and 4. This is great momentum as he will race for a championship next week from Homestead Miami Speedway. Off turn 4, he'll go to the checkered flag. Alexander Ortega gonna win in Texas. And Cole Wilson finishes one side-by-side photo finish for second, and he will advance to the championship 4. Along with Ortega, your race winner, and Sherry and Rott both locked in. Your championship 4 decided here in Texas. Heading next week to the championship race at Homestead Miami Speedway, it is Richard Sherry, Justin Rott, Alexander Ortega, and finally Cole Wilson, all going to battle for championship for the Xfinity Series in Season 4 next week at Homestead. And it's the 3rd win of the year for Ortega. The Xfinity Series Championship 4 will consist of a total of 10 race wins this season. Absolutely stacked. And it's Ortega go to victory lane tonight in the 32. He will burn it down. Your race winner in Texas. Pretty dominant night instead of getting that title with Gregory. But he's going to get the job done tonight and will advance to the championship 4. Basically a max point stay. He'll be looking for the same sort of thing in next week at Homestead Miami Speedway. If he gets that, he's the champion in the Xfinity Series. And it's going to be between, of course, Ortega, Wilson, Cheering, and Rott. I mean, I don't even know who to pick as a championship favorite next week. It's going to be so intense here in the Xfinity Series. I don't know. Any of them could win it. I mean, Sherry, you're thinking about he's coming to a home race in Miami. Well, I mean, technically home race around to where he lives. So he could have good momentum. Of course, Ortega just won tonight. It's on a mile and a half next week. I know it's different, but you never know. Wilson, he's been decent on the mile and a half. Finished second tonight. He could have a great run tonight next week. And Justin Rott, he's been good on these mile and a halves as well. Just maybe he's had some bad luck. So we'll see. It's going to be so intense. The Xfinity Series Championship race next week from Homestead Miami Speedway. All right, that'll do it tonight in Texas. We are done here from Texas Motor Speedway. All right, post-race interviews coming up here in Texas. Your championship 4 is officially decided. And we'll head to Homestead Miami Speedway next week to decide an Xfinity Series champion. Of course, what will be a new Xfinity Series champion? No former champions in the field. Of course, the other 2 former champions were, of course, Aiden Donahue in Season 2, Cameron Chandler in Season 3. They're both Cup Series drivers now. Of course, Aiden Donahue was announced earlier this week, yesterday, that he is coming back to the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series full-time next season with Showtime Motorsports. So that is huge. All right. One quick second, we'll get post-race interviews underway in Texas. It is a max points day for Alexander Ortega. Also got 0x, so 32 points available. That is rare to do now in the Xfinity Series, now that 0x is a bonus point. Good effort from Christian Hartwatzel. Finished third, of course. Like we mentioned, all the drivers advancing. And yeah, that'll do it tonight. All right, post-race interviews coming up. Just make sure we get all the 0Xs in here in Texas. First of all, your race winner, Alexander Ortega, will move to the interview booth. Welcome live to the post-race show here in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series at Texas Motor Speedway. We are done here at Texas, and first of all, your winner, Alexander Ortega, will be locked into the championship for next week. Alexander Ortega, a perfect night for you guys today. You scored max points, 32 points scored today. Exactly what you needed to do. You led 74 of the 90 laps. Dominant run, dominant race, and you are, of course, your third win of the year. You're locked into the championship for heading to Homestead Miami Speedway next week. So what was the key to your success in this race? Absolutely dominant, no mistakes, just dominated basically start to the finish, and you win your third race of the year.
Yeah, we just finally had a race go green. I mean, that kind of long run pace and everything it's always been here, right? Auto Club, Chicagoland, it's we've always had it. I've just never had a race that went green through the second stage, that last stage specifically. And so I love Texas. I think it's a fun track. It's really easy to burn your stuff off just because of how fast 1 and 2 is. And so if you're not smart, and if you go flat out through 1 and 2, you'll just melt your tires off. And so you just kind of play it smart, and then 1 and 2 get into that bottom, get into that paint, and just kind of you find a little bit of clean air. I think there was one lap where Michael was ahead of me. I was starting to run him back down in like stage 1, and I'd get to the paint, and if he missed it a little bit, it would just close the gap up. And so just finally getting a race to play out the way we needed it to, I think, was the biggest thing.
So, of course, it's the championship race next week at Homestead Miami Speedway. It's a mile and a half, even though they're very different here, Homestead to Texas. But still, great momentum heading into that one. What do you think your chances are? The competition's tough with Cole Wilson, Rich Cherry, and, of course, Justin Rott racing for the title with you.
I think Homestead for me is a better track than Texas is. A while back when in real life when NASCAR went to Homestead in the spring, and so the official tracks were all there. I spent a lot of time trying to get better, and like I said, with Texas 1 and 2 getting to that bottom line, I got really good at painting the white line. And so I think when a lot of people are going to be struggling to find pace on the bottom and start to move up, I'll still be able to make moves on the bottom. I think that's going to be a really big deal. And so I think we're going to have a real good shot next week.
All right, Alexander, of course, great job. An absolutely dominant run tonight. Max points day, of course, exactly what you needed. You'll race for a championship next week from Homestead Miami Speedway. Have fun celebrating this one, and you'll get ready for the title race next week at Homestead. We'll see you then.
Yeah, thank you.
Now is your winner, Alexander Ortega. Now all focus goes to the Xfinity Series Championship for the Xfinity Series next week at Homestead Miami Speedway. Cole Wilson finished second, but of course he will advance to the championship four as well. Cole Wilson is the P2 finish, but you still will advance to the Final Four. 1-2 finish, of course, your teammate Alexander Ortega, who of course will also advance. So your third straight championship four you're making, still going for that first title. What was the key to keeping it clean tonight, having a calm race there at the end to finish second in advance here?
Yeah, just had to save my tires good and drive fast. And I did that, yeah. Ortega was really quick. I wasn't going to beat him unless there was an overtime, or a short run, really. But I'm happy second, 1-2 with CWR. Klotz did not make it easy for me. He was all over me the entire second half of the run. So fun battling with him. And we will look forward to Homestead. Third straight championship four, third time's the charm.
All right, so of course Homestead Miami next week. I mean, this is probably the most stacked Xfinity Series championship forever with Ortega, Cheery, and Rod. There's a total of 10 wins between the four of you guys, so it's going to be absolutely stacked next week at Homestead Miami. What do you think your chances are?
Just got to be there at the right time. I mean, all of us have our strengths. I think I'm probably the best out of us on a short run. So maybe hoping for a short run at the end. Ortega and Justin both really good on the long run. Cherry's got to make sure both he's good on short and long run, and he can qualify really well. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
All right, Cole. Of course, nice job finishing second tonight. Really good points today, and of course, most importantly, advancing to the championship for you'll race for your title next week at Homestead Miami Speedway. So we'll see you next week at Homestead for the title race.
Go Broncos.
Fly Eagles fly. Anyways, coming up next, how about our career day? Christian Herklotz finishes third. Christian Herklotz, what a run tonight for you guys. P3 finish at Texas Motor Speedway. You guys had really good speed. Actually, we were at one point the fastest car on the racetrack. So where did this speed come from in the second half of the race, and how excited are you for a third place finish, your career best day?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of botched it in qualifying, so I kind of put myself in a bad position early on in the race, and I tried to pass as many cars as early as possible, and because I thought we had a chance to get up there for the win, but I guess not. It was kind of hard to pass that late in the race, so had a lot of fun though. But I'm not excited about the third place. I'm excited with some silly season stuff here. If I can explain what's my plans for next season.
Yeah, of course.
So as of next season, I will be driving the hopefully the 00 car for Questionable Motorsports full time in Xfinity. So I'll be leaving Team Chevy Motor Club as a driver for next season.
All right, so of course that's big news, but one more race here with TCMC. What do you guys think you can do maybe to close it out on a good note after running third and finishing third here in Texas tonight?
Well, man, I'm just I love Homestead a lot. I think I'm just gonna do my thing, hold my line, keep it clean, stay out of the way of the championship drivers as much as possible. But I think if I could just not wreck or get caught up in a wreck, then I think we'll be up there for the finish. Again, amazing pace so far. So I'm working well with a lot of these drivers. So excited for next week, and I'm also excited for next season.
All right, Christian. Well, of course, nice job. Third place finish. What a day for you guys tonight here at Texas Motor Speedway, and we'll see you for the season finale next week from Homestead, Miami. Coming up next is going to be P8, P7, Jeremiah Gauntly. Jeremiah Gauntly, you guys will end up P7 here tonight. So overall, a pretty solid day for you guys. So take me through some of the highs and lows of your night here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Well, I guess we'll start off right at the beginning. Qualifying. God awful lap 1 and crashed my second lap. Not good at all. I qualified about P14, but I mean, this is a track that I don't have a lot of experience at, so I didn't know what I was getting into, but I eventually found my way around with tire conservation and a little bit of strategy that almost worked my way. But yeah, just kind of tire conservation, worked my way up to that finish.
All right, so of course we head next week to the season finale at Homestead Miami Speedway. So of course, what do you guys think you could do to maybe build on the 7th place run next week at Homestead for the finale?
Well, it almost seems as if my runs are getting better because Dover I placed P9 or P10 or so. I know I was at the tail end of the top 10. I'm hoping I can be up there. Really hoping I am. But historically, Homestead's not been a track that I've been the best at, so I'm not sure how that one's gonna go. But I just gotta thank my Manatee's Ghost Ship for sponsoring me for this race.
All right, well, nice draw. Top 10 tonight. Second straight top 10 finish for you guys after Dover last week, and we'll see you next week for the season finale at Homestead.
See you next week.
All right, coming up next, going to be CJ Urban. Did everything he can. Or actually, forgot to do Michael Gregory. He finished 4th tonight. Michael Gregory, it was a really, really good effort for you guys tonight. Ran up in the lead at one point, but it just wasn't enough. Cole Wilson scored too many points, and you guys ultimately will exit -14 to the cut line on the playoffs, and you guys will not advance to the championship four, but still a great effort. Just give me your thoughts there, what maybe more you had in the tank, or maybe more you didn't have in the tank. Just ultimately trying so hard there for the championship four spot.
Yeah, no, we were. It was a good run. Not my favorite racetrack, but yeah, it was good getting out front, leading laps. But ultimately, we just needed Cole to have some misfortune, and he didn't. And it's just how it is. How it is. And I wish we would have scored some more points throughout the playoffs. We went on that run for a little bit to start them, and then got to Martinsville and got junked by a full-time Cup guy for no reason, and that kind of started our turn of bad luck. We go to Dega and we don't even get to lap 5, and it's just unfortunate. But other than that, man, it was a good year. Rookie season's in the books, and I'm looking forward. We're gonna go Cup racing next year.
All right, so of course, talking about the Cup Series ride, you get to finish out your Xfinity Series campaign. You've been so good. Do you think you can maybe finally grab an Xfinity Series win next week at Homestead?
We'll see. I might try to play a little spoiler there and just have a non-championship 4 guy win. We'll see. Not my best track, but it'd be cool to be able to do it there.
All right, Michael, nice job finishing still P4 tonight. Will not advance to the championship 4, unfortunately, but we'll see you next week for the season finale at Homestead.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, so more interviews to come here from Homestead, Miami, next week. From Texas Motor Speedway tonight. Next up, CJ Urban finished in 8th. CJ Urban, the odds are against you ultimately to advance to the championship for you. 20 below entering tonight. You still got a top 10 finish P8, but obviously not enough. And you will be eliminated from the playoffs, will not advance to the championship for sure. Give me your thoughts on that, but still ultimately a good day finishing at P8.
Yeah, just finally put a race together in this round. Talladega got wrecked, not on my own doing, and Dover, I qualified bad and put myself back there with the people that wreck a lot and got caught up in it. And then tonight ran over Knox. That was my bad. Didn't mean to do that, but we're able to recover to an 8th place finish. Just burned my tires up on the long run, but just too many mistakes and too much bad luck this round to get to the Final Four. So try again next year.
All right, so of course, heading into next season, I've still got Miami next week, but next season, a really, really good year, finishing what now is 6th in the playoff points. How well do you think you guys can build on that heading into next season?
Well, I mean, I think the speeds there, and if we can just execute all year, we'll be fine. It's just too many mistakes early in the year and bad luck. Just I burned so many points up early in the season that it just put us in a hole.
All right.
Just need to clean that up.
All right, CJ. Well, still nice job on the run tonight. Unfortunately, not advancing to the championship 4, but a good season overall for you guys, and we'll see you for the next week's finale at the Homestead of Miami Speedway.
Yep, thank you.
All right, coming up next, going to be Zane Rahman. How about a 9th place finish for him? Zane Rahman, on your 17th birthday, what a day for you guys. P9, you're up there battling with Richard Cherry at one point for, I think, 7th place. You guys had great speed in your number 17 Ford Mustang tonight. Give me your thoughts on the day and ultimately where the speed came from.
Yeah, I mean, I was honestly surprised I managed to keep up with everyone, to say the least. I mean, I normally don't have speed when it comes to these type of tracks. So, yeah, I'm really thankful for speed I got. I mean, I wanted to win today, but sure, I'll take a top 10.
All right, so we head next week to Homestead Miami Speedways for the finale. Of course, you guys announced today that Screaming Luigi Racing will be back next season in the Xfinity Series. No changes there for you guys in your number 6 car. But how do you think you can maybe finish out this year strong at Homestead next week?
Well, Homestead is one track that you can rip the high line. That's something I'm really good at. So, yeah, I hope to utilize that to my advantage, and hopefully that goes all too well.
All right, Zane, well, nice job finishing in top 10 here at Texas Motor Speedway. And I guess we'll see you in the Cup race tomorrow night, of course.
Yep, thank you.
That was Zane Rahman. Coming up next, it's going to be Rajan Koch, finishes 10th. Rajan Koch, not a bad day at all. You guys pulled some strategy there. You ultimately will finish in 10th after the strategy and the stage. So give me your thoughts on some of the ups and downs in this race tonight, getting a top 10 finish.
Am I? Oh crap! Sorry, I didn't know. I didn't know I was live. I was waiting. It's good to have the Prismobile. Getting a top 10. Consistency is what is needed in the 27 always, and I'm happy that the Prismobile, the core Civic car, was able to deliver that tonight at Texas.
All right, so of course we head to the finale next week at Homestead Miami Speedway. So, how well do you maybe think you can build on this momentum that you gained tonight at Texas, getting a top 10, and maybe be even better at Miami next week?
Well, Miami is a whole nother level. It's just same as always. Practice, look at other people's data, study off of that, try and replicate it, and see what you can do on the track. I just want to add on, it's been a great effort for my teammate Mike in the 5 car. He did such a phenomenal job this season. Although, from what I'm seeing, he may not make it into the Final Four, he still had done a great job. He should have won a handful of races this season, but think some things are not to be. But yeah, study off of people and see what you can do on the track.
All right, Rojan, well, nice job on the run tonight, and we'll see you next week at Homestead.
Thank you, Ethan. God bless you. God bless America. God bless this great country. Have a good night.
You too. All right, coming up next, one more to go here. It's going to be Max DiFilippi. Ultimately ended up finishing in 11th place. Max DiFilippi, definitely a whole lot less chaotic than it was last week at Dover, upside down at the end of that race. You guys will finish 11th tonight. CWR 1-2 for your teammates. P11 tonight, not a bad day overall for you guys. Just give me your thoughts on the speed of your race car here in Texas in the second to last race of the year.
Yeah, it was really good. Really happy that I was able to get a 0x. I'm honestly more happy. I think I got a 1x though from just hitting the grass or something. I don't know. More happy about that than the finish, to be honest with you. And yeah, I told my team so many times. I don't know if I told you guys. I just practice and qualifying. I suck. I'm way better on long runs for the race and just not like short run. I'm not good on short runs. So that sucks because we always qualify in the back and it puts us in trouble early. But lost 10 with 2 to go and honestly really bummed. Kind of wanted that top 10, but it's all good. So just happy we got a good day.
Of course, we head next week to the championship race at Homestead Miami Speedway. Your two teammates are in there, Cole Wilson and Alexander Ortega. Do you think there's anything you can maybe do to try to help them out? Maybe teammate work?
Not wreck them. That was I'm obviously not gonna I don't even know who's also in the championship. I just know it's them. But I know Richard Cherry stays in VC if during races. And number one thing I just got told today was don't cause a caution because you're leading there. But I'm obviously not gonna go out there and just run side by side and slow down the championship for guys so CWR can win. I mean, I want them to win, but I'm not gonna go interfere with any of the championship guys. So yeah, that's about it. Nothing else I can really do, I don't think.
All right, well, still Max, nice job on the run tonight, and we'll see you next week at Homestead.
See ya, thank you.
And that'll do it tonight from the Texas Motor Speedway. We hope you enjoyed. Of course, coming up tomorrow is the Cup Series penultimate race of the season, the second to last race of the year, the championship cutoff race for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series at Texas Motor Speedway. We will decide the Cup Series championship for tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You gotta be there to see it. What a race we can have tomorrow. And of course, Championship 4 already decided here for the Xfinity Series. That'll go to next week at the Homestead Miami Speedway. So on behalf of all officials, team owners, commentators, drivers, everyone involved making this league what it is, we'll see you tomorrow night from Texas Motor Speedway to decide the Cup Series Championship 4. Good night from Texas. We'll see you tomorrow.